chosen to do my speech on John F. Kennedy. In his quote, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." I don't care how many times you've heard that quote, but every time you hear it, it takes you back. It takes you back to the era of John F. Kennedy. This speech was one of the most famous speeches and one of the most amazing speeches in history. According to archive.vod.umd.edu, communication scholars have ranked this speech second in a list of 100 top speeches of the 20th century based on its impact and artistry. The United States was at a pivotal time in history. Americans were worried about how long the Cold War was going to last. They were worried about poverty, religion. They were worried about Castro and the Soviet Union. This was a time for change. The American people had hoped that John F. Kennedy would be the change that the world needed. When I first watched this video, I thought, wow, what an awesome speech. He was such a great speaker. He stood up there strong and tall and proud. He was proud to be an American. He was proud to say the changes that he wanted to make for America. You could tell he was passionate because of the tone of his voice and his hand motions that he used. The emotions that were evoked coming from John F. Kennedy were passion and love for his country. He was humbled that he became president, but he was also very passionate on what he wanted to do. He was not gloating on that day about his victorious win. He was focused on what changes he wanted Americans to have, what changes he wanted for the country, what changes he wanted for the world. He was constantly making eye contact with the audience and showing his passion for what he believed in. The energy that he was giving off was not to be mistaken. He was ready to change things for America. In his quote, "All this will not be finished in the first 100 days, nor will it be finished in the first 1,000 days, nor will it be finished in the life of this administration, nor even perhaps in the lifetime on this planet. But let us begin." That tells you that he's not having expectations that are out of the realm of things. He's wanting to just at least begin the process. I felt that the audience was very much engaged. They were quiet while he was speaking, and they were clapping and applauding him while he was quiet. I am sure there were some that listened to him that did not vote for him, but they still wanted to hear what he had to say because they had a vested interest. This was truly history in the making. To me, this speech is probably one of the best speeches in American history. According to the Art of Public Speaking, one of the ways to appeal to your audience is by emotional appeal. The president does very well by showing his emotional appeal, by showing his pride in the country. I would like to speak with such passion and confidence as he did on that day. He was fighting the January cold weather and still showed so much energy and passion that you couldn't even tell other than the cloud around his mouth. The techniques that were used are his tone of his voice, the loudness in his voice, his hand motions, and his passion for the country. I would like to take those things in my speeches. John F. Kennedy will always be remembered as the president that was assassinated, but I believe that he will also be remembered as the president that loved his country and spoke so passionately and aggressively about what he wanted to do and what changes he wanted to make for America and the world.